What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, we just watched a fan-freaking-tastic game as South Carolina narrowly, and I mean narrowly, takes down Duke. The final score was 54-50. That is a low-scoring game overall. This was a game that defense really did seal the day. It was all about defense. It was all about just mistakes that was made and how teams were capitalizing. It was about turnovers. And ultimately, South Carolina make it once again to another Final Four. Let's break down this game. First of all, I gotta say, huge shout out to Duke because I thought they played as well as they could have. Right? This was a game that down the stretch, I actually thought that Duke was gonna get the dub. Right? Because South Carolina in this game played terrible. This, But sometimes you had those games. Where it's just man, on the offensive end, you're just making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. And here's the thing. The benefit of South Carolina is that they have depth. In this game, Malaysia Fulwiley played terrible. Absolutely horrible. She played absolutely horrible in this game. Multiple turnovers, travels, there were several travels in this game. I was like, man, can y'all just dribble the ball before you move your feet? But several travels in this game. But Malaysia Fulwiley played a horrible game. Horrible. And as a result of seeing how bad she was, Don was like, okay, go to the bench. Go to the bench. And this was one of those games where the bench was not saving the day for South Carolina. South Carolina, we all know that a lot of times the bench saves the day, right? There's a lot of times where in terms of offensive wise, Raven and Tahina and Bree Hall, they don't do much on the offensive end. And then you got to go to your bench, and then you got to rely on Malaysia Fulwiley and Tessa Johnson and Joyce Edwards and all that stuff. Okay. There's a lot of times that happens for South Carolina. Not today. And the reason why is because when Malaysia was struggling, when Joyce was struggling, Dawn went to her bread and butter, and that is her starters. And the starters took it home. In this game, two players who absolutely dominate, who were the players of the game, and two players who sealed the game. Sanaya Fagan and Chloe Kitts. Your two post players won the game for South Carolina. And in that fourth quarter, we go into the fourth quarter. South Carolina's down. It's looking like, maybe they're going to lose this game, right? It was 42-38 in this game. Okay? Starting in the fourth quarter. What does South Carolina do? They go straight to Sanaya Fagan. Sanaya Fagan starts off the quarter with a jumper. Then everybody starts to work a little bit, right? Raven gets fouled, gets to the free throw line. Tahina makes a shot. Chloe Kitts makes a bucket, with the pass by Sanaya Fagan. And this team just starts to, they start to roll. They start to get key stops on defense, and they actually start to play some pretty decent offense. Where several times you had to rely on Sanaya Fagan making a jumper. And at the end of the game, to seal the deal for this game, you relied on Chloe Kitts to ultimately make her free throws and get the dub. Now, this game was, probably a stressful game. If y'all had a dog in the fight, I was just like, it didn't really matter to me. I thought it would have been great if Duke would have won. Truthfully, it would have been great because I like upsets. That would have been a really, really fun upset. Unfortunately, we did not see that upset. But overall, this was a game that I was like, what's gonna happen? Terrible play initially for South Carolina, but ultimately they ended up getting it together. And this is why certain players start. Raven Johnson in this game showed a lot of people why she is the starting point guard for this team. Raven Johnson does not score a ton of points, right? She had 7 points in this game. A huge 3-point bucket, might I add, in this game as well. But she 7 buckets, not the biggest of deals. But once again, Raven Johnson shows up on defense. Raven Johnson makes the right decision. And Raven Johnson helps to lead her team to success. That's why Raven Johnson is a starter. Yes. Is she as flashy as some of the players on the bench for South Carolina? No. But when it came down to it, Dawn Staley knew who she could rely on. She could rely on her starting point guard to ultimately close the game out. And this is why certain people start, right? This is why you have certain people in different positions. Because when it comes down to it, who can you rely on? And for South Carolina, they can rely on Raven. They can rely on Sanaya. They can rely on Chloe. They can rely on Bree Hall for that defense. And yes, Tahina Powell, she did miss 2 huge free throws. And honestly, guys, I was like, oh, is this about to cost South Carolina the game? Is this going to cost South Carolina? Ultimately, it didn't. But I was a little bit. I was wondering a little bit. I was like, okay, what's going to happen? What is going to happen? Tahina Powell missed 2 free throws. South Carolina was down by 2 points. There was about 3 minutes left to go in the game. Tahina got fouled. She went to the free throw line. She missed both. And I was like, ooh. Okay. No, at that time, South Carolina was up by 2. And I was wondering, okay, like, that was not good. What is South Carolina going to do? Well, they stole the basketball, and Chloe Kitts ended up making a layup. And it was like, back to normal for South Carolina. Now in this game, I gotta give a huge shout out to Duke overall. Duke played as well of a game as they could have. Now we know this Duke team, they are a better shooting team, but we know they're still not that great as a shooting team, right? And it showed. They shot 31% from the field, not very good. They struggled throughout this game, and there were times where we saw visual mental lapses, where it was like on defense, Duke was doing a thing. But on offense, there were certain times that I was just like, what the heck are you doing? Certain turnovers, especially in that fourth quarter by Duke, that I was just like, come on. And then the thing that sealed it to me, was at the end of the game, we saw Bree Hall commit the offensive foul on the inbound play. South Carolina was only up 2. 29 seconds left to go in the game. She commits the offensive foul. Okay, Duke ball. Duke has the basketball. Now, let's go. Kara Lawson calls a timeout, and basically she's trying to draw up something that'll draw out a lot of the time, and so you can get a good bucket in. Okay? So they're dribbling around, passing around. It's clear that they're trying to wait towards the end of the clock to attempt to score, because they're down by 2. There's 29 seconds left to go, which means the shot clock is 30 seconds, and so like you're good. There is no shot clock. You got the rest of the 29 seconds to make some stuff happen. And then I don't know what Ashlyn Jackson was thinking. I have no idea. I don't understand it. But Ashlyn Jackson ended up having Sanaya Fagan. It was a screen and roll action that they've been doing quite a bit in this game. And it worked. Screen and roll action worked really well for Duke. But they do the screen and roll. Ashlyn Jackson, instead of dumping it down, waiting to dump it down, she decides, while Sanaya Fagan jumped out on her, she decides to shoot the three with Sanaya Fagan and her tall self extending her arms. Ashlyn Jackson, what in the world? Like, that to me, I was just like, what are you doing? Ashlyn ended up airballing the three. South Carolina gets the rebound, and it's over from there. I don't understand it. It made no sense at all. And I was just like, man. Duke, you had an opportunity. You had several opportunities. There was another time down the court where I can't even remember. Was it Ashlyn or was it somebody else? Somebody ended up it was Reagan Richardson. Reagan Richardson in the fourth quarter ended up trying to throw it to another guard, I believe, and then Raven Johnson ended up stealing it. Right? There were a couple times in this fourth quarter, late in this fourth quarter, that I was just like, mental lapses by Duke on the offensive end. Defensive wise, Duke was good. Like, again, you held South Carolina to 54 points. Like, that, what more can you ask for? But offensively, you just made some mental lapses. Mental lapses. Right? And to be honest with you, maybe if Toby Fournier was still in the game at the end of the game, maybe it would have turned out different. Molly says, why would she take out Toby Fournier? I don't know, to be honest with you. On that last play, with 29 seconds left to go, after Duke called the timeout, Kara Lawson decided to sub out Toby Fournier and put Mary in. And truly, that was a mistake. I think. Because Toby Fournier was keeping your team in this game. Toby Fournier, your super freshman, was cooking. 18 points for her in this game. She led your team. She led all scores in this one. Why would you take her out? Why? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't think it made any sense. But because we saw a lot of that pick and roll action, a lot of the times that was working, Toby Fournier was a part of that pick and roll action. Can you imagine if Ashlyn Jackson would have had Toby Fournier screening for her? You could dump it down to Toby, and Toby could try to score. Either way, you shouldn't have attempted the three, but because you had time, like you had 7 seconds when she attempted that three. You had a lot of time, So I'm just saying. I think that was a mistake. I think that was a huge mistake. If y'all could, make sure to hit that like button as y'all are joining in. What do y'all think about the game? Let me know in the chat. We just started the LSU versus UCLA game. It is 7-4. Ooh, nice block. It looked like that was Flau'jae Johnson that just got a block on Lauren Betts. That's pretty nice. All right. Ooh. Samaya Smith, she got a mid-range jumper in that one. Okay. Anyway. What did y'all think about this game? Let me know. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments below. Chris says Toby Fournier is going to be a star and an All-American. Facts. Yeah, a little bit of hero ball. A little bit. All right. Amita says, so many games played, but you just want South Carolina to lose. I don't get it. I don't know how many times I got to say this. I don't know how many times. I don't care. I don't care. I don't have a favorite college team. It doesn't matter to me. What I love is chaos on the basketball court. I want to see teams that I did not expect to win. Just like yesterday, where Notre Dame loss to TCU. Even though TCU was ranked higher, to me, Notre Dame was a better team. So to me, they kind of got. I love that. I love the fact that we saw Sedona Prince, Madison Connor, and Haley Van Lith take off in that game against Notre Dame. I love that. That's what I want. I want the best teams to lose because to me, it's a great story for the underdog. I want the underdog to win. South Carolina is the best team out there. Even though UCLA is the number 1 overall team, no, South Carolina is the best team. Have been all year. 100%. I don't care if South Carolina wins. But if they're playing against a team, I want the underdog to win. Right? I do. So that has nothing to do with South Carolina particularly. It's just they're the best team out there right now. They are the best team. And it would be cool. It would be cool if the underdog wins. Because why wouldn't I want the underdog to win? I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care. Underdogs are great. Who doesn't love a great underdog story? I don't understand what the problem is with that. Just because I don't root for your team doesn't mean I hate your team. Doesn't mean anything. It just means that I love the underdog. And if you don't like me not rooting for your team, then go to another channel. Go. Go. You don't have to be here. You do not have to be on this channel. If you can't take the fact that I don't care and I want the underdog to win, I want teams to get got. I literally have 2 shirts on my merch store that says anyone can get got. I love this. March is what I love. Love it. I love the opportunity for teams to show up and show out and prove to me that they are the better squad. I love it. But if you cannot handle that, if it's too much, go to a South Carolina specific channel. Go. It's okay. It is A-okay. I understand. Not all fans can deal with someone who truly doesn't care. Not all fans can do that, and that's okay. That's okay. So you're welcome to stay if you want, but at the end of the day, dog, I love basketball. I don't love South Carolina. I don't. I love basketball. I don't love UCLA or LSU or Notre Dame or whatever. Dog, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, honestly, it does kind of annoy me because it's the same exact conversation every single time. Every time it's the same exact conversation. And I don't get it. I really don't get it. Okay? William says, we love you, Quita. If you're angry, then something must be wrong with whoever made you angry. This is not me being angry. This is me just like trying to set the record straight. Like, dude, like, dog. I am who I am. I am never going to root for South Carolina. Unless I move. If I move to South Carolina, yes, I will 100% be a South Carolina fan. 100%. If I move to South Carolina, who knows? Who knows what the future may hold? So maybe in the future I'll be a South Carolina fan. Right now I'm not. If I lived near a basketball powerhouse, I would be their fan. If I lived in South Bend, I would be a huge Notre Dame fan. If I lived in Tuscaloosa, right, I would be a huge Alabama fan. If I lived in Baton Rouge, I would be a huge LSU fan. If I lived in LA, I would be both. A huge fan of both UCLA and USC. I would have season tickets for both. Here's the deal. Because I don't have a dog in the fight, I opt to root for the underdog. Now, do I want to see the best players do their thing? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Would I have loved to see my Legion Fool while he dropped like 20-something points? Yeah, sure. It would have been great. Would have been fun. Would have been awesome. But at the end of the day, if I don't have a dog in the fight, I am going to root for the underdog. So if you cannot handle that, just go. It's okay. And I don't dislike you. I don't have an issue with it. I don't. Okay? Okay. Just saying. CC fans, thanks so much for the super chat. Says, keep doing you. I will. Aggie says, does that mean you're rooting for UCLA? They're the underdog, I think. So in this game, in the LSU versus UCLA game, I don't know. Because to me, there is no underdog. There is no real underdog in this game. Yes, technically, LSU is the underdog. Technically. But pound for pound, I think this team is a very evenly matched team. Very, very, very evenly matched team. I don't know. In South Carolina versus Duke, it's very obvious that South Carolina is the better team. So the underdog is Duke. UCLA versus LSU, I don't know, dog. I don't know. So we'll see. Unpackaged Vinyl says, you're not moving in South Carolina. You're likely to move to Charlotte, then Columbia. Hey, who knows? I'm serious. Who knows? Hey, I may end up in Columbia. I'm just saying. I may end up there. I may end up there. Because if I do, yeah, I am rooting for whoever. Like if I move from Chicago and move to a city that has a really good women's basketball team, I'm 100% for that team. Because to me, it's location based. The only reason I'm a fan of the Chicago Sky is because I'm in Chicago. If I wasn't in Chicago, I wouldn't be a fan of the Chicago Sky. Duh. Like I just wouldn't. I'd be still a fan of the WNBA. I still, love to watch all the games and all that stuff, but I wouldn't cheer for the Chicago Sky. I don't cheer for them because some unique quality. It's just location based. So, it is what it is. Anyway, Shamika says, don't ever leave Chicago. The Sky needs you. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay, anyway. Y'all have completely taken me off of the conversation I wanted to talk about, which was this game. There's a tornado warning. We'll see what happens. Anyway. So let's talk about this game. W Brazil, I agree. Poor passing did kind of hurt them severely. Absolutely. And Lewis, yes, South Carolina does need to get mid-range jumpers. Yep. But all in all, this game was about Sanaya Fagan continuing to show us that she is that girl all season long. Actually, no. Not all season long. Once Ashlyn Watkins went down. Once she went down for the season, it was a terrible moment for South Carolina, right? Big deal. Big deal. Sanaya Fagan, who was already the starter, she was challenged to step her game up even more because they were not going to have Ashlyn Watkins to come off the bench to save her if she messed up in the game. She took that challenge on, and over the last several months, we have seen Sanaya Fagan do her big one. And I've enjoyed seeing it. We have seen a Sanaya Fagan who is comfortable with the mid-range jumper, right? We have seen a Sanaya Fagan who has been very, very aggressive on the defensive end. And not just that, the thing that she was missing was her offensive bag. And once again, Sanaya Fagan saves the day for South Carolina with some big buckets in the fourth quarter. Ultimately, she does end up with 12 points, which 12 points is not that much, right? Okay, whatever. You may say 12 points is not that much, but when the game was down to the nitty-gritty, South Carolina had two players save the day. Sanaya Fagan and Chloe Kitts. Those two players played their butt off. It was Sanaya Fagan with the jumpers and whatnot. It was Chloe Kitts getting to the basket. It was Chloe Kitts making those free throws, because free throws can help win championships, and she helped to seal South Carolina's fate today with those two huge free throws that she had. There was 5 seconds left. Aluchi Akanawa ended up fouling Chloe Kitts. South Carolina was only up by 2. So if Chloe Kitts missed one or missed both, leaves an easy opportunity for Duke to end up winning this game. But she took those free throws, made them both. And not even just those 2 free throws. She played a really good game. Now, did she miss quite a bit of shots? Yes. Her efficiency was not very good. But from the free throw line, when she needed to knock down shots, she did. And that's a huge difference. But the overall, South Carolina really does need to work on their free throws overall. Just saying. Free throws win championships, right? Just saying. Anyway, yeah. This is continuing on my topic of team. It's called a team for a reason, and South Carolina showed once again why they are a team. It's not just one player with South Carolina. Yes, in the last game, yes, we saw that. Mylesia Fulwiley carried them in that last game, right? She did. She was fan-freaking-tastic. Loved it. She was great. When Mylesia was not productive, she went right on that bench and she cheered on her team. It says a lot. It says a whole lot when your coach benches you, because you're not playing great. You committed some turnovers. You're missing shots, right? You're not playing great. But it says a lot when you get benched and your teammates are doing what they're doing on the court and you on the bench, first one up, cheering, first one up, like excited, engaged. That is a team. And that's what South Carolina played today. Did they play a beautiful game? No, they didn't. They played a pretty ugly game. They did. This was not the greatest, most beautifulest game ever. It wasn't. But they got the job done, and they did it together. And ultimately, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Because teams win championships, not a band of individuals. Okay? All right, we got a huge super chat. Thank you so much, Kristen, for the super chat. Says, I'm behind on the live. I just heard your don't care about college ball and underdogs. Yes. Well, I appreciate you, Kristen, for the super chat. Really do appreciate it. Salute to you for your support. Yeah, I mean, truly. And the reason why I don't care is because I'm not in the location of a really great powerhouse team. If I was, I sure would care. I sure would. But specifically for that team, and then I'll be upfront with that. Just like during the regular season for the WNBA, y'all know I root for the Sky. Y'all know that. You know? So, yeah. All right, guys. It is pouring, and supposedly there is a tornado warning. So, okay, so it looks like there's some sound issues. Sorry about that. It could be because of the weather. I don't know. It could be because of the weather. It's like really, really bad outside. So maybe I will just call it quits for the day, and then I'll come back either later today, when the weather is a lot nicer, or I'll just do my live stream tomorrow morning and I'll just walk through everything. So hopefully that's, sorry about that, guys. I don't know. It feels like earlier today I may have been having some issues, and now I'm having some issues again with the sound. So my apologies on that front. But yeah, I'll probably head out. I will probably head out, guys. But I appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me. South Carolina wins, Duke loses, but Duke should have their head held high. Even though they made some costly turnovers, some bad passes towards the end of the game, Even though, there was a ill-advised 3-point shot towards the end of the game that they kind of sealed their fate in their loss, still, Duke should have their heads held high because this is a team that has slowly but surely transformed themselves. I love to see it. I love to see teams continue to develop, continue to get better and better and better. This was a Duke team that literally could only play defense. Now they still play defense, but they got a little bit more offense to rock with, and I love it. I love it. Duke with Kara Lawson, and TCU. These are two teams that a couple years ago, no one expected them to be this far. No one expected. The reason why they are is because of coaching, because of belief, and ultimately because of heart. I love to see it. I think it's really awesome. I think it really, really, really is awesome to see what Kara Lawson has done and see what Mark Campbell has done. We have some new faces back on the scene when it comes to elite teams making it far. Duke, they've been there before, but they haven't been there in a while. They're back because of Kara Lawson and because the belief that she has instilled in this team. Love it. Yes, they didn't make it to the Final Four. Yes, sure. They're disappointed. Sure. But making it to the Elite Eight is absolutely huge. They didn't get blown out today. They stood pound for pound, toe-to-toe with the best team in the country. Stood their ground. And yes, it didn't end up the way they wanted it to. However, they played like champs. They did what they could. And ultimately, the better team ended up winning. Sometimes that happens. But you got to give it all you got to create your own luck. And that is exactly what Duke did. Yeah, they didn't win the game. But I tell you this. I have enjoyed watching Duke play this year, and I cannot wait to see them play next year. I cannot wait. Can't wait. And tomorrow, I can't wait to see what TCU do because, TCU is also a severe underdog against Texas. We got Texas versus Texas tomorrow, and I think it should be really fun. And TCU is one of those underdogs, right? They're an underdog. And tomorrow, USC is an underdog going against UConn because Juju's out. And so we're going to see what tomorrow has to hold. But before the day is over, we're going to find out who's going to win this game between LSU and UCLA. Right now, we got UCLA 23, LSU 17. We are in the second quarter with 5 minutes and 26 seconds left to go. Flau'jae Johnson goes for a 3-point shot. She misses. Rebound, Kiki Rice. All right, guys, that's it. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. Molly says, did you see Scott committed to Baylor? No. Really? She did? So yeah. Wow. Talia Scott is going to Baylor. Okay. Now, okay. Man. Nikki Collins. Congratulations. Congratulations to Nikki Collins, the head coach of Baylor. Oh my goodness. You just got a huge pickup. The tournament is not even over, and you got Talia Scott to commit. Wow. And this is being reported by Talia Goodman. So if Talia Goodman is reporting it, it's a fact. That Talia Scott from Auburn has committed to Baylor. Thank you so much, Molly, for letting me know. I did not see that earlier. So thank you for letting me know that. That is huge. Huge. Thank you so much, Molly, for that breaking news. Wow. Shout out to Baylor, man. Hey, Baylor's going to be a better team next year. Oh my goodness. I love it. I absolutely love it. Man. Talia Scott is going to Baylor. Dang. Love it. Okay. All right. On that fantastic news, let's wrap it up, and I will see y'all in the next one. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Again, South Carolina takes down Duke in a very, very, very close game to make it to the Final Four. The final score was 54 South Carolina, 50 Duke, and the job was sealed by the two post players for South Carolina, and Sanaya Fagan and Chloe Kitts. Guys, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I will see y'all in the next one. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.